Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome inside the Fan Cave. This is where we do business every night of the week. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Bob Pompeani, Chris Mueller at your service tonight. You can call the Bordas & Bordas hotline, which is 412-575-2600. Hit us up on Twitter at KDPomp, at Chris Mueller PGH. Chris came in last night, and we had a rousing rating. Chris, I can only attribute it to you on the #1 Cochrane Sports Showdown. There you go. A lot of people switched over, and we want to thank those who did right after the game to hear what we had to say. We're going to continue that right now, Chris, starting with one of the biggest blunders a head coach can make. And it's funny, in this town, we want to focus on simply what goes on with the local coaches. But when you look around the league, there are a lot of clock management issues. There are a lot of decisions that are being made that if they were made here, you'd be ripping them apart, most people. But what Josh McDaniels did last night did not make sense mathematically at all, and it cost them a game, I thought.
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy that the most charitable reading you can come up with for what McDaniels did is he really believed that the Steelers could do nothing offensively and that his team was going to get the ball back with at least a minute to go, needing a touchdown with at most one timeout left. It's still not a good situation. You'd still rather take your chances, get a touchdown and get two, but that's the most charitable reading. I also thought within his blunder there was yet another blunder. After the leverage penalty, if he was all along thinking he needed two possessions, why on earth just not take the field goal that you made, save about 45 to 50 seconds, and then live to do that plan that way? It's 23-18, you're kicking the ball off. You can probably get it before the 2-minute warning even. If you want to use all your timeouts, you can be judicious. He botched that horribly. He's another guy with a boy genius reputation, even though he's a little older than the McVay crowd, but clearly is a guy best suited as a play caller, not somebody who has to make big macro decisions.
Yeah, and eventually we'll head back to the nest of Bill Belichick if he's still there, like they all do. But, you know, regardless, you needed one possession. He said you needed two. You didn't. You needed one. After the game, that's what made it even more riveting, the fact that he said that. You know, I wasn't sure what the strategy was, and I did understand that, okay, you believe in your defense, or you believe in your defense, even if you go for it and miss and don't get a first down. Pittsburgh is, you know, back up against the wall. They're going to probably be conservative, and most likely you're going to get it back in a much more envious position, you know, as opposed to what we saw there, which was one first down and they kick it with 12 seconds left. They had no chance.
Yeah, it was just a horrible bungling by McDaniels, excuse me, really. I mean, he just goofed it up in as profound a way as I can imagine. And you know, it's like there's a certain facade of politeness that's supposed to get maintained in these pressers because these coaches are all they're masters of their little fiefdoms. He should have just been asked after the game, Josh, why should anyone have any faith in your ability to lead the Raiders after such a colossal gaffe? I mean, that would really be like the fairest way to ask that question. Hey, Josh, what on earth were you thinking? That was boneheaded. Have you ever done math? But instead, we have to get these torturous explanations from him, trying to rationalize a decision that really can't be justified on any grounds, Bob.
But a good night for the Steelers. They needed to win. They got to win on the road. Their offense came to life, although in the fourth quarter they didn't put up much offense at all, and that's been a little bit of a concern, certainly, over the last couple of weeks. But they took advantage of what they did. I thought there were new wrinkles in offense. I thought the playbook came open a little bit more. We'll talk about all this with Chris coming up here in just a moment. Also, over the weekend, we saw an unbelievable comeback by the Pirates. Pitt lost again. There's a lot to talk about, so if you'd like to talk to us, call 412-575-2600. We'll be back with more as we continue live. It is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call right here on Pittsburgh's CW and also on 93.7 The Fan on most nights.